Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, The Grease Trap. Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, Grease Trap.
All right, everybody. Welcome to The Grease Trap. How you doing out there, everybody? Y'all feeling good? Everyone feeling
that
good?
I feel good. Do that. That episode, you're like that cable company episode of South Park.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Tell us about your slow internet speed.
Yeah, I guess there's just nothing you could do.
Oh, if only you could go to a competitor. Oh.
I guess we're the only one around, though.
Let's see. Let's have a list of other companies in the area. There's Comcast, and let's just look around. And Comcast, and one more check. Oh, it's Comcast.
Comcast and Comcast and Comcast and Comcast. Comcast Business Class, Comcast Xfinity, or Comcast Gamer Package.
Ew, the Gamer Package. Helpful if you love to play them games.
But not a Monopoly, though. I had this fucking dumb shit. I've had to delete so many fucking, like, ridiculously racist comments from my George Floyd video. Like, it's literally, like, I've literally just had people that, like, come in there and are just like,
Glad Monkey is dead.
Yeah, there'll be shit like that.
Right. And
it'll be like fucking there's one dude who's just literally just like stated emphatically, like, if someone resists arrest, they deserve to die. Summary execution on the spot if you resist arrest in any way, shape, or form.
I guess you can believe that, but that's horrifying.
And then it's like, okay. And then a bunch of people just like, oh, the fentanyl Floyd thing over and over again.
Well, can we go back to the guy that says if you resist arrest anyway? So let's say you're doing some of the most minor crimes, but you can be arrested for it.
Right. Yeah. If you're
disturbing the peace. Oh, no, I don't want to go. Die.
I guess.
So any arrest, unlawful arrest, any arrest.
I had people literally just come in there and tell me, like, I'm okay when the cops shoot. I mean, you're right about the cops shooting them white dudes. That's bad. Well, you know.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah, just literally like.
Look, if they're white, the cops were
just literally like openly advocating for like a two-tiered system of justice based on like race.
What if they're Asian? Well, if Asian, I would be.
I don't know what the Asian position is.
I'm not really sure about how I feel about an Asian getting shot. Black though don't matter. Mexican don't matter. They shouldn't be here anyways.
But I have this dumb fuck in my Twitter DMs making this. He's just like, yeah, you know, if you know, the only reason the jury reached that verdict is because the mob.
They were scared.
The angry mob out there intimidated.
It was like, rigged. Yep.
I'm pretty and I was like, I'm pretty sure it was because of the evidence that was presented. He's like, you don't care about the evidence. Like, I do actually care about the evidence. He's like, well, what if it did come out that Floyd died of a drug overdose? Like, he didn't. There's already the Hennepin County fucking coroner already fucking ruled on his cause of death.
This is what Tucker Carlson was talking about.
It was not a fentanyl fucking overdose.
But remember, that's what Tucker Carlson was talking about, and it was true for the right, because now the debate is open. What if this happened? It didn't. What if this happened? It didn't. What if this happened? What about the evidence said that? Didn't they have a trial for that? Were you on the jury, bitch? No? I think they got a clearer picture.
Yeah, for some reason, when a verdict, which is our best, like, if you think about the justice system, it's our best stab at getting things right? It's imperfect. Yeah, but it's our best stab at coming to the objective truth about what happened in an incident where a crime is alleged, right?
Yeah, I mean, a jury trial is basically...
What better can you go with than a jury of your peers and a trial that wasn't declared a mistrial where all the evidence was presented, blah, 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 right? And when the verdict goes their way, I can guarantee you these same people, if Chauvin had been found innocent, would be going like, justice smiles upon us again. The great scales of justice balance themselves out perfectly as they always do. But because it didn't go the way they did, it's just fucking hypothetical city. Well, what if he did die? Like, what if he did? What if he sprouted a fucking unicorn horn out of his head and flew away with a rainbow coming out of his ass? Like, what does that have to do with the price of rice in China?
I don't fucking know, dude.
It's just a dumbass, fucking backwards ass mind of a racist, dude. You really cannot argue with a fucking racist. Their minds are broken.
Yeah, I mean,
logic doesn't exist up here.
Because they start, I mean, it's just the same thing as so many other fucking irrational belief systems where they start with their conclusion and then everything is just built around justifying whatever the conclusion is.
Yep. Start with the conclusion and work backwards to the premise. That's the way it works.
You know? And that's, by the way, the same thing I think I've seen from some of you motherfuckers on that bitch that got shot trying to stab that other bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're just the equal and opposite reactive force in my mind to that. I don't mean to both sides you, but like both sides on that one.
This is what happens on the left. We've got a genuine problem in this country of over policing and police brutality, mostly against people of color in poor communities. And then we have an incident that goes down where there's a body cam and everything. We see a woman raising a fucking knife about to bring it down on somebody, and the cop takes action to stop that from happening. And people want to act like the cop just jumped out of her car and shot a 15-year-old girl in the head for no reason.
Yeah, and I've seen people literally say, like, teenagers fight, and sometimes they fight with knives, you know?
It's like, what?
That's normal teenage, has always been normal teenage behavior. It's like,
no, it isn't.
No, if someone has a knife,
it doesn't,
and they're going after another person,
that's murderous behavior. That's what the cops exist to stop.
You have to have, as long as the process is transparent and you have evidence, you can make a determination based on that evidence. That's the best thing you can ask for with these police shootings. Obviously, no one's saying the systemic problems are gone.
Right.
That's see, like, I don't understand how they just can't see how those things are incongruent. It's like, no, those things work just fine. You can have use of force that is right, and you can still have systemic racism. You can still have police coming in and a lot of times hurting these communities more than helping them. Yeah, it's like certain people out there just think like if you admit that the police are ever right in any instance, that it's like, oh well, you've just given away the whole game. You've just given away the whole fucking shebang at that point. If the truth is the police are right in that one instance, then fine, they're right in that one instance. It doesn't change that the system is still fucking broken.
Nuance is dead. Like the gray nature of what happened in that fucking video is dead, because you know what? Yeah, that cop might have endangered other people by taking a shot when there were that many fucking people around and shit.
That is true. There were a lot of people around, but
that cop had seconds to make a decision, and a woman had a fucking kitchen knife that was that long and had it raised over her head to go stab somebody with it.
Yeah, she was literally like already in the motion of like trying to stab a person. So yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what you're supposed to do.
This is not a good look this is not a good look for the defund the police or restructure the police movement.
Oh, dude. You know who's been making we actually can watch it. Ben Shapiro is making a bunch of fucking straw out of this shit, dude. And it's getting a bunch of traction with it because people are going, oh, look at all these people that jumped on this. Look at LeBron James. So ignorant, such a fool.
This is why it's important to fucking know what you're talking about before you run straight to a hot take and shit. The climate we have right now is like first to the presses gets the most upvotes and shit. And it's like when you're first to the presses on an incident like this that clearly has fucking nuance that needs to be looked at, and you just go with the hot take because you want that instant fucking feedback, it makes you and whatever movement you're advocating for look stupid and reactionary, and it allows dumb fucks like fucking Ben Shapiro to get a point on you.
Yep. And that's how it totally looks too. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm not a big fan of Ben Shapiro, but it's like when you make a statement and you act a certain way, and then you have to delete the tweet and back up. Oh, well, you know.
So here's one that just broke as far as I could tell that not much is known about yet. I want to fucking read this to you because I think the last paragraph will tickle you. Black man calls 911 for help and winds up getting shot by cop 10 times.
Right.
A black man from Virginia called 911 seeking help, but wound up getting shot by a police officer 10 times despite being unarmed. NBC Washington reports that 32-year-old Isaiah Brown was given a ride back to his Spotsylvania, what a weird place, Spotsylvania County home by a sheriff's deputy this week after his car broke down at a nearby gas station. However, shortly after arriving home, Brown grew worried about his car getting towed and called 911 to see if the deputy could give him a ride back to the car. The deputy arrived at the home and opened fire on Brown within minutes, reports NBC Washington. He is currently being treated for 10 bullet wounds in intensive care. Virginia State Police say they are investigating the shooting and so far have no given explanation as to why the deputy began shooting Brown, whom they confirmed is unarmed at the time of the shooting. the state police also said that they are in possession of body camera footage of the incident, but are not going to release it to the public.
Oh, man.
Protect and serve.
Good. That's not good.
See, that's the fucking one. I love that shit. And then someone when I posted this story, I guess I didn't like totally post it. I responded to it. So some people fucking responded to what I said. And someone was just like, even if the body camera footage shows that the police acted appropriately, their people are still going to attack the police. And I'm like, okay, but whatever the fucking camera shows, whether it shows the police doing the right thing or the wrong thing or whatever, like anytime there is fucking footage owned or controlled by the police department that shows what happened in a fucking incident where a cop killed somebody, like that footage should 100% of the time always be fucking made public.
Yes.
Like that should always be open to the scrutinizing eyes of the public. Whether people fucking have rational or irrational fucking responses to it, they should be able to, everyone in this country is entitled to see what their fucking tax dollars pay for.
But why do you think they don't want to release it? You think if the footage showed this cop?
Yeah, there's no fucking way this footage shows this cop act. I mean, like maybe. Okay, I can't say there's no fucking way.
They would release it immediately if that's what it showed.
But like the circumstance, like it's almost impossible for me to imagine a set of circumstances where this fucking was justified.
Anytime there's a more justified use of force, somehow that shit gets out there immediately. It's like, look, the cops are innocent.
I mean, like
the cop's innocent.
Just the fact this dude was shot 10 times while unarmed is like, what's going on here? Because that's fucking nuts alone. Like, how does a cop shoot some dude 10 times? Were you literally just shooting him when he was on the ground and like fucking writhing and shit from the first few times you shot him?
Stop writhing! Ah! Yeah, I think 50 Cent only got shot like 9 times, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck this is about.
Fuck, man! Like shot 10 times? How can you say it's necessary?
Unarmed too. I mean, what do you have to do to provoke 10 bullet wounds? Without
having a gun yourself, how can you possibly do anything that warrants you being shot 10 times by
like the chick that had the fucking butcher knife in the story we were talking about earlier got shot once.
Right. So how that's insane to me.
Totally fucking insane.
The reason I brought that up is because obviously this person that said to me, he said, well, even when videos show the officer was in the right, people still rage. That's probably on the back of that fucking video you're talking about with the fucking stabbing shit.
Probably so.
See, that's why it just gives ammo to fucking conservatives who want to fucking deny any sort of racist wrongdoing on the part of the fucking institution of the police.
Yep.
So when you fucking defend stupid shit,
makes you look like a bunch of airheaded reactionaries to whom the police can do no right, and you will never be satisfied. And that's not what you are. You're asking for police to stop brutalizing black people in their communities. And when a cop shows up and does something to save another person's fucking life, you shouldn't shit on them for it. I actually had a dude respond to me on Twitter saying, yeah, it's actually pretty easy, Paul. The cop should have showed up, let her stab whoever she was going to stab, then arrested her and called an ambulance. I was like, what?
Yeah. Whoa, can you say that again?
He said to me, here's how the cop should have handled this. Showed up on the scene, let her stab whoever she was going to stab, and then called an ambulance and arrested her for it. Police are there to arrest people for crimes, not prevent them. That was the somebody actually fucking said that to me.
So the philosophy here is,
so ethically, he thinks it's better. It's less harmful to society if that cop lets that person be stabbed, potentially to death, then arrests her for murder.
So
takes her to jail.
Is that should that standard just be okay? So if the standard is the police are not there to prevent crimes, they're only there to punish you to arrest you once you've already committed a crime. So then, like, their police should never intervene in a crime. They should be like, wait, no, we have to let the crime happen. So if there's like an active school shooting, it's like, why aren't you cops going in there to help? It's like, hey, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. we got to let this play out.
That makes no sense. Yeah, so if there's a school shooting, it would
We'll arrest them afterwards. But for now, we got to let them finish their crime.
Yeah, and then that's assuming also that person will then voluntarily and peacefully just give themselves up.
It's like, all right,
I've murdered the people I want to murder. I give up. Please now arrest me peaceably.
It's like, no, I actually have some more crimes I'd like to commit before you arrest me. I'm gonna go assassinate the president or something. It's like, what the fuck? I'm pretty sure that crime prevention is part of the.
I mean, if a cop sees a crime in action or somebody about to be victimized, they have a fucking duty to intercede. That's what they're out there for.
Well, I mean, actually, legally they don't.
I'm talking about murder,
right?
No, Paul. If a cop sees you being robbed, like let's say, like when you had your not the hijacking, the carjacking, the cops had something like, are you guys done with the carjacking?
Right.
No, we're not.
Well, but I mean,
I can't interfere. Sir,
it's actually been ruled multiple times in the courts that the cops do not have a duty to protect people, despite protect and serve being part of their mantra. But look, the point is that if you were to abolish the police department tomorrow and create something new from the ground up, the new thing that you created would definitely have prevent murder when possible as part of its credo.
Well, whether or not the courts have, and I know I understand the courts have ruled that way. I think it's fucking implicit that the reason that we have fucking police is so that if they see somebody about to kill somebody, they do whatever they can to stop that.
Yes,
absolutely.
If there's a house burning or something happening and there's nobody else around to help.
Mass shootings. It's happened with mass shootings. There's a mass shooting in Ohio. The police response just happened to be so quick because the cops were just right there and they shot the guy who was just basically opening fire on other people in a crowd. It's like, I think it was somewhere in Ohio, like Dayton, Ohio, I think it was.
Yeah. Just popped up. They just ran up and shot the guy.
Yeah. That's like, I mean, sometimes like if someone's killing other people, yeah, that's the right call. I mean, where those people would say in the case of that mass shooting, that guy should have been able to unload and then just, okay, you're out of bullets. You're going to jail now.
Yeah. They should have waited until he ran through his 3 fucking mags and killed about 45 people. And then when he was done, they should have went and politely arrested him and taken him to jail. It's like, what? On what planet do you live? There are also people in this argument that can fundamentally misunderstand how dangerous a fucking knife is.
Look at the mass stabbings in China. I mean, like people, you can do a mass murder with a knife.
I had people in my fucking chat going like, dude, why do cops always have to escalate? You don't bring a gun to a knife fight. It's just like, dude, that's Scotty's pocket knife. The knife that the chick was wielding in the video was at least half again as long as that knife was.
Well, dude, with this thing right here, like I'm telling you, like if you want this would easily kill somebody. What the fuck are they talking about? Like, it's no big deal.
If Scotty wanted to jam that shit in my fucking neck right now, I'd be fucking dead. If Scotty wanted to twist that thing in my guts,
if you think about it,
I'd be fucking dead.
And honestly, I wanted to kill you at this distance. This would be the best thing to do it with.
Dude, even if you watch, remember that fucking Irishman? It was in the trailer for the fucking thing. I didn't even see the fucking movie yet. I do want to watch that one of these days. But
gun, you charge him.
Yeah, he even says like, from a knife you run, charge a gun. Basically,
you cannot. Yeah, with a knife, there's no way.
Because a knife is actually fucking way deadlier in close quarters than a fucking gun is. Because that'll tear your shit up.
Those people acting like if she had stabbed her, like that would have been like at the best case scenario, she would have been fighting for her fucking
these
life.
People think like a stab wound is like, it's like it's still a big fucking hole in your body. It doesn't matter whether it's made by a bullet or a knife.
It's not a minor weapon. Acting like someone pulling a knife on somebody is like a normal thing, or it's okay is not. Obviously things can be de-escalated, but when someone is at the point where they have this out and I'm going to lunge it into your body.
Well, let me say,
any person, if I personally had someone come out with me with like this knife or any knife, at that point I'm like, oh fuck, I'm praying someone's going to shoot that motherfucker.
Well, let me tell you something. Like, even just put it this way, these motherfuckers. Would you rather have a fucking be shot, boom, in and out through your fucking guts, take that fucking chance, or would you rather have someone take a knife and slash your fucking belly open and your fucking entrails pour out?
Fuck no.
Like, which would you fucking prefer? You know what I mean? Like
the gun.
Obviously.
Depending on the gun, we've like a 9mm
this downplaying of the deadliness of knives is just like fucking
it's another bad look.
Bullshit.
It's another bad look from people.
They've banned guns there. I mean, for the most part, it's very difficult to have a gun. They still have a bunch of stabbings. That's not saying that their policy is wrong or anything. I'm just saying that the fact is, like, stabbings are fucking deadly and they happen all the time, and people die from them all the time. You can't just treat it like it's nothing because it's not a gun. It's like, it depends on the weapon, and knives can be just as deadly in close quarters as a gun.
Yeah, I don't get the. We have not, like, the nerfing of knives for the sake of this argument is pretty silly.
It's just because people just got invested. They heard the headline and people react. You know, you have to. I mean, like, everyone's been gone at least a couple times in their fucking life, right?
Because you know what?
Oh, the headline got me.
Okay, I get the initial fucking thing. Because when you've had so many incidents where it's like black this shot, black that shot, blah blah blah, 13-year-old, 20-year-old. Unarmed,
like, oh.
And then you hear another 15-year-old black girl shot. It's like, oh fuck, again with this bullshit. But then you look in the facts and it's like, oh, okay, well, this one doesn't really, this isn't part of the pattern.
Are not critically evaluating what,
but people don't want to fucking it's like, no, my fucking initial gut reaction has to have been right. There's no way I can't amend that just because evidence has happened.
They're rewarded online for doing that. These companies incentivize the behavior they want.
Like I said, first to the presses. First to the presses gets the fucking accolades. The first person with the hot take about how shitty cops are when something like this happens and doesn't know. It was like Jamie Darkey on our fucking stream the other day.
Yeah.
All fucking dropping all kinds of innuendo and rumor about this. By the way, still hasn't been proven or verified in any way that any cop said anything like Blue Lives Matter after this shooting happened. But Jamie Darkey was in our chat as we were trying to provide this nuance, and we'd actually, just before she was talking this shit, watched the video.
Yeah.
And she was like, but they said Blue Lives Matter. And I went and looked into it. Not a single corroborating source. No proof whatsoever. Total internet rumor. See, people are so defensive of their initial hot take that they double down, triple down. And then at the end of it, they end up looking fucking stupid, and they end up making the cause that they're speaking out for look fucking stupid.
And the end result of that, of the pushback on that, was the most remarkable thing to me, really. It was like, you push back, and I remember she said, like, well, I'm just saying, cops can always do better. It's like, well, I mean, anyone could. I mean, like, you could say that literally anything or anyone.
That's a nebulous statement.
Yes, everything could be improved upon.
That was her defense when I went and looked up the claim that she was very boisterously, vociferously, and authoritatively making in our chat, and found no evidence for it. It was like, well, I'm still right because cops can do better. It's like, no. Yeah, you're right. Everybody can do better. But that has no place in the conversation that we're having right now. It's apropos of nothing. It's an attempt to defend a hot take that you don't want to defend anymore. Just say, oops, I was wrong. I propagated misinformation, and I'd like to correct the record.
Yeah. Like,
how hard is it?
Like, hey, I'm going to go look into this too. Oh, hey. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have been. I guess that was wrong information. Sorry, I
guarantee you, she heard that hot take on Twitter from somebody, third hand innuendo in one of these fucking threads or on Reddit somewhere, and just ran with it like it was the truth.
Yeah. This has happened to me a bunch.
The narrative becomes more important, and we've seen it.
I've definitely had fucking hot takes where, like, someone pointed out some fact to me, and I've just been like, "Oh, okay, I guess I was wrong about that," and I've had to delete tweets or whatever.
See, that's the thing. It's not necessarily that you have the human reaction. It's really not that much of a stretch in this current climate to think that cops would do something reprehensible like that. So you have an initial visceral reaction publicly, and then new information comes to light, and you go like, all right, it looks like I might have been a little hasty on this take. There's a lot more nuance to this than I thought. Sorry for the pop off. Whatever the fuck. You just do your thing, right? Some people can't do that. It's not necessarily that people run with the narrative as soon as they fucking hear it third hand through the telephone game of the internet. Yeah. It's that when they find out that they were wrong, they refuse to go back and amend it. They double down.
Just all in on the hot take. All in on the hot take. It's like, come on.
Unfortunately,
there has to be a point where you back down from that shit.
They're easily manipulated, and your ego kicks in, and you have this narrative, and it's like, well, I've already spewed this narrative. I'm already getting support for having this narrative. So instead of me actually making a correction or saying, well, let's reevaluate what I've said, it's just, nope, You have to make it work. You have to do the gymnastics to make that somehow cohesive. Oh, it's a cohesive argument because then it becomes a broader topic. Well, the police, I mean, look, they could have shown up and de-escalated and done things better and blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, maybe that's true. Is there an optimal outcome to this situation that occurred? Yes, of course there's some perfect outcome where everyone walks away alive and everything's great. That's not, unfortunately, what didn't fucking happen. Instead of just taking this case and saying, well, it's the same thing as the other ones, say it's not the same as the other ones, and just and have the knowledge of, like, instead of saying, getting stuck and fixated on one of these cases, look at, we need broader societal change. People get so fixated, oh, this one person, this one. It's like, look, we see it happening over and over again. We can't just focus on these little microcosms. We have to fucking expand it and say this is a problem that is endemic to our entire society.
Here's the problem,
it's a
though,
cultural issue,
because people aren't motivated by statistics, no matter how fucking sobering or horrible the statistic is. No one, it doesn't emotionally get people the way like a story does.
The Stalin thing, the death of one is a tragedy, the death of a million is just a statistic.
Because when there's some kind of like personal touch to it, when there's some kind of face you can put to it,
15
be like,
bajillion people died. It's sad.
Yeah, here's the hero, here's the villain. Let's all boo the bad guy. Let's all cheer the hero. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, and sometimes that serves a good end. Sometimes that serves a good purpose, but that kind of shit can be used to obfuscate truth.
It can be.
Because there's stuff out, I mean, like, like you said, there needs to be a fucking more sober look at the statistical reality of fucking police abuse and institutional racism and all this stuff that's happening in this country. Like, when you stop focusing on because like anecdotes can just as easily lead you down the fucking path of racism and being a piece of shit, is the problem with anecdotes. Evidence is only going to lead you the way you need to be going. Like, you can have different interpretations of the evidence and there's still gonna be arguments about the evidence, but like everyone should be able to get together and look at a set of facts and be like, here are the facts. And whatever you believe should be derived from that. But instead, people just fucking make up their own fucking facts.
Well, I think it's also human fallibility, but Paul, go ahead.
I was just going to say, to humanize this a little bit and to be culpable in what I'm talking about and show that I'm not fucking just talking and holding other people to a standard I don't hold myself to. The last time I remember this happening to me was I hopped on Twitter one day. This was right around the time when HBO released that doc, Leaving Neverland. You guys remember that, about Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
And so I watched that documentary. I found it to be a pretty compellingly composed documentary, but also filled with a lot of spurious kind of unverified claims, and you know what I mean? And so I took it to people, and my take on it wasn't that, like, I know for a fact Michael Jackson wasn't this. I'm just saying, like, look, dude, Michael Jackson was the biggest fucking star in the world. There are multiple examples of people doing this to Michael Jackson to try and exploit him. And I see no reason to rule out the possibility that the two gentlemen that are taking part in this fucking documentary are doing the same. You know what I mean? And then I'd taken that position. I was catching flack for it from some people. And then I saw a hot take from some spurious website that I should have checked into that said HBO has pulled the Finding Neverland documentary down from all of its streaming services. And I made a hot take on it. I was like, oops, looks like that fucking documentary was a little shitty, huh? And then people were like, it's still up. And I went and looked, and the fucking source that I used, I should have known it was like hiphopbeats.com or some shit, real fucking Pulitzer winning news source, and I ran with it. But then I made another tweet and I was like, whoops, looks like I got duped by a fucking shitty news site. Sorry, guys, or whatever,
Yeah.
I didn't like double down and go like, no, hiphopbeats.com is the best news site.
They did take the documentary down. It just hasn't caught up with your server yet. You're trying to play it.
Restart your modem and try and play it, dipshit.
In a way, I wish that actually would have happened.
I mean, dude, I got suckered into this shit for a minute. Like when I first heard the fucking story, like what the information I heard, 15-year-old girl was shot just as the George Floyd verdict was being read. Oh my God. Wow. What a sobering reminder that there's still so much to be done. And then I saw the video and I'm like, oh, never mind. No, not this time.
Dude, this is one of the reasons why I'm so thankful for my wife. because my wife does not have that reactionary thing in her. She likes to know what she's talking about before she takes a take. And so I didn't even know about this shooting until she brought it to me. And she was like, yeah, people are freaking out about this 15-year-old getting shot, but look at this video. And she showed me the video and I was like, she was about to stab somebody. And she was like, I know. Like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? So she brought it to me with the right context already. So
you know what? You know what though? It's just like the way it was presented to me. It was because it was presented in the context of that, like, as the verdict was being read against Derek Chauvin.
Right. Like the cop went out and did this as a way to say, fuck you, blacks.
Or just like this poetic reminder that, this is still happening or whatever, or like whatever. Yeah, you could, however you want to interpret it. But like, it was juxtaposed with that to fucking evoke like a very emotional, like, whoa.
Yeah. Because
but then you look into the facts of it and it's like, oh, okay, well, no, this is nothing like what happened to George Floyd.
You're measured and tracked, and there's an algorithm that's like, what's the best way to get this person to click on this article?
Well, this wasn't articles. This was just fucking seeing tweets and shit. People fucking spewing whatever.
But what tweets were you seeing pop up?
Right. Obviously I was seeing, but I follow a bunch of fucking lefties and shit on Twitter.
No, I get that, but I'm saying, but that's basically your little echo chamber. It's like,
right.
how can we show you more ads? Oh, this was going to get you because these tweets have high engagement. So let's show you these tweets. So then you can be another voice of, I'm retweeting this. Here's this hot take that I like, that I agree with. I mean, we're all just being manipulated by this shit. And I don't know. I feel like people are just so blind to it. It's like, you don't think that the media wants you to be riled up? Like that's in their best interest. It's like, what are they saying now? What's happening now? Here's the trial. What a piece of shit. Oh, is this the next one? Is this the next fucking thing we can dog whistle about? Get more people in? We do this? It happens over and over again. And like, to me, it's like people act like this is some sort of ally. It's like, they're definitely not. They do not give a fuck what happens to any of us as long as people are watching.
Yeah, I think you're probably right about that. I mean, there's just way too much fucking emotional manipulation, way too much people hurting, way too much tribalistic bullshit.
Well, you know how it is on the internet. It's like the internet, if you step one toe out of line in some groups, just like you're just done.
Oh no. Oh no! Oh no!
That's why you can't have nuance, because if you do that, then it's like you're no longer part of group.
Yeah, like the nuance is basically like some kind of heretical fucking thing. It's like, oh no! You got to be with us 100%.
You're in this box, and 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 you're over here, and we're over here, and both sides that want to destroy each other. Oh, they're terrible. They're doing this. They need to be banned from the internet. No, they're a bunch of whiners. Ban them from the internet. That's really what somebody really wants. Someone just wants the real ban fucking switch. Ban all my opponents.
They're already pretty much banned from each other, though. Like, these groups have already fucking so crystallized into, like, we're this group and we're this
They just
group.
want them banned from the public square.
Like Twitter at this point is like there's still conservatives on Twitter and whatever, but like most of these conservatives have moved on to like conservative only echo chamber platforms where no fucking.
Have you heard about what's that dude's Mike Lindell's little thing, like Frank?
No.
Social network?
No.
Is it up yet?
I don't know.
I think it might be.
I never heard. I heard something about him launching one, but I honestly did not expect it to ever actually like be.
Yeah, Frank.
It's called Frank.
It's got some interesting rules. Okay, Frank's speech. Like, it's up.
It says it's not really working right now.
Not working. What?
Boo.
Let's go there and see if we can access.
Hold on. Let's just read this article first. My Pillow CEO Mike Lindell's social media platform is up, kind of. The site called Frank is online, but not really working. He was banned from Twitter. All right, here's Frank.
What is it?
What the fuck is this?
Welcome to 1993.
The voice of free speech, and it's like a one-page thing with no way to interact.
Thank you for being part of Frank with over 200 million streams in just 2 days. What?
Streams
I don't think
what?
so. 200 million streams. I don't believe that's happened, buddy.
Streams of liquid diarrhea coming off this shitty website, maybe?
Frank's speech so far has been an epic success. Right now, we're working on new features. I don't see any features.
Yeah, you might want to start with a feature.
Go down. All
right, hold on.
Can we play that?
Let's explore. Hold on. So there's the logo. There's like one column layout with nothing going on. We've read this.
By the way, this logo looks like I made it in 5 minutes in Photoshop. Right.
And there's like a bunch of links to actual social media sites. And then there's a video or something that can't be loaded.
Yep.
I guess I could try refreshing the page and see.
No. And then it looks like there's an embedded YouTube video down below there.
Yeah. Absolute Interference. Help save our country. Share everywhere. Absolute Interference. The sequel to Absolute Proof. With new evidence, foreign and domestic enemies use computers to hack the 2020 election. Is this just a YouTube video?
No, it's hosted on his site.
Yeah, this has probably been removed from YouTube.
Another divine appointment where
on time, they usually don't.
Mocking me on late night TV.
Cast Network.
Proof that our country was attacked by China, by communism coming in, this foreign interference to our elections through the machines. Dominion, Smartmatic, ES&S, all of them. So every day they're mocking me in the news. They're mocking me on late night TV. Jimmy Kimball, he was great at making fun of the evidence. It's conspiracy. Mike Lindell's nuts, all these things. Well, I kept telling him on February 5th, we're going to launch. We're going to show you all the evidence in this documentary called Absolute Proof. I told all the media that. Well, here's what came. On February 5th, when I left this studio that morning, and this launched at 9 a.m. on February 5th, here's what happened. First of all, cricket.
Okay. If you got the evidence, just why am I listening to this? Like, why am I listening to you fucking do this giant rant about how vindicated you are before I've heard a shred of fucking anything?
Can this fucking doofus just go back to selling fucking shitty pillows?
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Come on, bro.
Is that Rick Wiles?
Is it?
And this is where the Dominion machines first popped up.
That was with Smartmatic, right?
Smartmatic and Dominion.
I don't think it is.
That's right. Everybody. So, and we'll talk about the different machines that are used. Dominion, Hart is another one, ES&S.
Is that fucking Rick Wiles?
See where he joins him.
No, that ain't Rick Wiles.
Too thin.
Okay.
Going down the right path, and it's gonna all open up, and it's gonna be the greatest uniting ever. I really believe that.
I think that at the end of this, as we go through this discovery of truth, which is really all we want, that the American public are going to realize just how great this country is. Again, when people start to say that there's an awakening going on, there's an awakening with as Mike highlights his faith and the faith that we have in our system and in each other. What we need to have is
How can you have? Wait, how are you saying you have faith in your system?
Yeah, he said it's rigged.
Yeah, you just said the system is completely fucked.
It's completely fucked. It's completely rigged, and it's complete bullshit.
This looks like it might be evidence. Let's see.
Of these all attacks, and then we convert them into the actual IP address, the cyber footprint, who attacked, who did it, what time they did it, what computer came out of China to do it, and what county attacked here, what computer it went into, the IP of the computer, the ID of the computer. Now,
what? The IP of the Chinese. It's like their footprint on the streets of America.
What the hell is all that?
They're tiptoeing through America, TJ.
The IP of the ID and the DB.
What I'm going to be doing, just so everybody knows, is taking the data from that, and then we're going to take this now and go, wow.
We're going to take the data from here and take the data from there, and we're going to put them together. We're going to have double the data.
Dude.
What am I fucking seeing?
If the most conspiratorial minded Scotty showed up and this was like, this is going to sway you one way or the other, like, this is convincing me it's bullshit. It's like, oh, okay, there's nothing here.
Okay.
Like, at least Alex Jones can get me, like, pumped up. It's like, the reptilians will be eating the pituitary glands of the small babies. You're like, all right, cool.
This guy literally sounds like like a Looney Tunes side character that comes in and he's like just some dumb dunce like, duh, what's going on, bunny rabbit? Take a little bit of data from over here and a little bit of data from over there. Hey, where did my carrots go? I'm such a stinker. Dun, 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 dun. That, like, this dude is a living Looney Tunes side character.
Let me hear this voice.
You know, I mean, this is in all these states that think that this wasn't. You know,
listen here, Rabbit. You're not gonna take my fucking carrots. Are you sure about that, Doc? Yeah, I'm sure about that. And another thing. Hey, where did my carrots go? Da, 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 da.
I'm not convinced yet, but maybe.
To do this.
Let's see.
Absolutely. You cannot, you know, and the way I would say it is like,
it's Michael Flynn.
The other day,
Yeah, there you go. I know that motherfucker looked familiar.
At this one particular event, he says, I watched what happened, and now I'm getting off my couch, and I'm going to get involved in my community because I can't have this happen with my children and my grandchildren going forward in this country. If there's one thing that I sit here, and why I'm sitting here with Mike Lindell today, one, because we met and we found a common effort.
They're fucking goddamn bootlickers, dude.
I love the fucking.
We didn't get authoritarianism.
It's so obvious who this is aimed towards too, because it's like, think about your grandchildren. It shows like these old fucking.
Can you
Ancient
believe the
white
coup
people.
failed? I love this. There's like their values are all antithetical to the values they fucking report to love. They're mad that a bunch of fucking rednecks didn't just seize the Congress and go like Trump president.
Trump forever. Trump forever. All right. Last chance. Here you go. There's some data.
Will essentially represent.
Oh, we're getting this person's like too fucking hot to
dude.
fucking for TV or whatever. He's talking to Pixel J, dude. What the fuck?
Yep.
Right. So if you go horizontally across, that's one line in the map. We have 19 here.
Yeah, there's 19 of them here. 19 attacks, and they all came from China.
Yeah.
All came from China. Now I want to show over here. We go line by line. Let's talk about the date and the timestamp. Okay. And by the way, I asked him before we started.
So wait,
Dude. Okay, guys, let's just fucking have someone.
The idea that a foreign country interfered in our election went from being the most ridiculous notion that's ever been conceived of when Trump won and there was fucking pretty solid proof of some Russian interference in our election. But now China definitely interfered, and China fucking handpicked Joe Biden. So according to the narrative of the two mainstream parties now, our entire political process is basically just like a chess game between Russia and China, and we're just like a third world shithole that's like being fought over by those two fucking superpowers. So, like, if that's the case, then let's just fucking give up. Let's just be like, okay, split it down the middle. Russia, you get this half. China, you get this half. It's all good. America's over.
Dude, I think we need to get on some spreadsheets right now. Call up Mike Lindell and be like, look, we got the real hardcore data.
Oh my God, dude, he'd feature it.
10,000 per line of code, though.
Dude, I went to that, I used to go to that fucking conspiracy site, rents.com, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they would have all this UFO shit on there. And one time I just fucking wrote this totally bogus UFO story. I'm just like, yeah, I saw a fucking UFO, blah, blah, blah. I want to see how hard it was to get on that shit. They published that story the fucking next day. They fucking had my UFO fucking testimonial on there.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
No way, TJ. They didn't verify your story at all?
No, they didn't verify it one bit.
They didn't go out and conduct an investigation?
They didn't even fucking ask me follow-up questions about it or like try to fucking catch me in a lie or any fucking thing. They're just like, you got a UFO story? We got a website. Here you go. Let's blast you out to our fucking tens of thousands of fucking
dude. The news media is like this, dude. There's a guy he's a crank caller that was made famous by the Howard Stern show named Captain Jenks, who got famous because he would wait for some big newsworthy thing to happen, and all these cablers would be covering it and knowing nothing about it, and he would just call and be like, "Yeah, I'm Chief of Police McKinley, and I'd like to give a statement to CNN about this." And they'd be like, "We're putting you right through to the live feed, Chief McKinley." And then he'd get on there and go like, "Yeah, I'm here on the ground, and the situation is fully in hand, and I would just like to say that Howard Stern's penis, baba booey, baba booey, baba booey, baba booey, baba booey, baba booey." You know what I mean? And it would take him like a minute to figure out that they'd been had.
What the fuck? And this news media, by the way, all this crazy shit that's been the Alex Joneses of the world go out there and talk was all fucking, it's all just warmed over fucking satanic panic shit that was once peddled by the fucking same mainstream media that now decries him as a fucking crackpot.
Oh yeah.
So you're all fucking crackpots. You've just the mainstream media is just Mike Lindell with fucking higher production values, really.
Yep.
That's about as much of a shit as they actually give about anything. That's why there's no one takes the fucking media seriously in this country. By the way, that's also why people can play so fast and loose with facts these days, because there's no fucking reputable fucking source that you can go to for just like, oh yeah, these are the real unbiased, unvarnished fucking truths of the day, because no one's doing that due diligence. Because it's like, once again, the same phenomena Paul was talking about of like, get it out quick. Also, why there's so many fucking conspiracy theories and shit about a lot of fucking historical events, because when like these shootings happen and shit, these media, they just report any fucking tidbit of information they get, whether they don't bother verifying it, they just want to be the first to report it. Yeah. So any fucking piece of information, no matter how shoddy, they put it out there, and then you have contradictory fucking information because they just reported any fucking rumor on the air, and then it's like, oh well, why doesn't this make sense? It doesn't make sense because nothing you fucking heard was vetted. And people think nothing of fucking disseminating disinformation, especially if it fucking suits some ideological end. So, I mean, like, I don't know. It's like a hellscape for anyone trying to get to any fucking genuine truth.
Think about it. It's like the fucking world has the like Rashomon effect. It's like, ooh, what do we see? Oh, there was 10 shooters. No, there was 2 shooters. There wasn't a shooter. It was a ghost. It was a spirit. It was an alien. You get all these different people that witness an event, and you're going to get about fucking a million different versions of what happened. Then you're going to get the people on the internet who go, well, that's not what really happened. And I mean, when you think about that, how flawed human memory is, then you're having someone that's like, I'm telling you what happened, and then I'm going to put my crazy spin on what happened. And by the time you get the actual tale, it's like, what the fuck are we even talking about anymore?
And then before you know it,
just for a little like fucking context with this, to show you how easily fucking influenced these news outlets are to run with a hot take, I sent you a Captain Jenks prank call, one of his better ones, where he gets on Twitter.
Okay, I'll play.
Yeah, I DM'd it to you if you want to play it. It's pretty fucking funny, and he did this hundreds of times, by the way. Maybe not hundreds. Yeah. He did it dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Made it to the air.
I am pulling it right now.
I mean, if you're good at something, might as well keep doing it.
I don't even know that he's necessarily good at it. He just realized something that most people didn't realize, that these news organizations don't vet shit. They just run to it because they want to be the first people to say it.
All right, first, though, from California, there was this and a horrifying shark attack unfolding in Monterey Bay. The victim dragged under the water screaming. Witnesses saying it was quick and it was brutal. 24-year-old surfer now recovering from severe bite wounds to his back and leg. Now listed in fair condition. On the phone in California is a lifeguard, Robert May. Sir, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Where were you?
I was about 20 feet in on the beach, and we heard the commotion, and we looked out, and you can tell the size of a shark from the dorsal fin to the tail, and we knew that this shark was large. We didn't know whether it was one shark or 2 sharks at first, but it looked like the size of the distance between a rag doll and a large-sized dog.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you have experience in that part of California.
Yes.
And the waters are pretty cold this time of year, right?
Yes, they're relatively cold. I've seen a few attacks, but nothing this severe.
Yeah. Tell us about the surfboard with the bite mark on the underside.
The surfboard was just torn apart. I mean, it could have been the victim, and then for sure he would have died. But the victim, what it looked like, he started punching, and the water started turning right around him, and he was punching the shark, and we heard him screaming, "Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Billy, you suck!"
Well done.
Well done.
Appreciate a phone call back. We'll get back to that story in a moment here.
Well done.
Well done.
Yes, and then
And Baba Booey, Baba
it
Booey.
just shows what fucking robots these journalists are too.
Yeah.
And yes. And then he screamed, "Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey, Baba Booey." Indeed. Well
Indeed,
done.
he did. Thank you.
Thank you for your information. We now turn to our viewers.
It is
Viewers,
cold
please
in the
buy.
ocean, is it not?
Yeah, it's like if anybody on this fucking planet is a bunch of fucking aliens, it's these goddamn news reporters. I'll tell you that right now. It's these fucking media motherfuckers. The Fox News people, definitely all aliens. The CNN people, aliens for sure. Rachel Maddow, I mean, there's UFOs flying out of her pussy. I don't know. She's fucking
100% terror, dude.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Alex Jones and Rachel Maddow. I didn't realize it at first when I saw Rachel Maddow because she's way more subdued and stuff, but they're cut from the same fucking cloth. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
She is every bit the nut job that he is. She is every bit the conspiracy peddler. She's every bit the fucking huckster. But she's on the mainstream side of things, I guess. I mean, like some of the fucking shit. Like she was like claiming that Russia was gonna like hack the power grid and shit and shut down like power in America.
Yep.
Like the Russians are planning to hack our power grid and they're gonna do this and they're gonna do that. It's like. The Russians, why the fuck? The Russians are not going to fucking hack our goddamn power grid, you psycho.
You know what it really was with Alex Jones? The thing they didn't like about Alex Jones wasn't any of the shit he said. It was that he became too good of a competitor. So it's like, let's just steal some of his shtick, make it mainstream, and just get rid of his ass.
I'm surprised they didn't just slap his ass on TV.
I'm at the border here, and we're looking for reptiles, we're looking for aliens, we're looking for everything we can possibly see. Oh, human smuggling. Dude, Alex Jones, like, they could just have these fake news stories. Alex Jones, like, find some kids in cages. Like, they're doing it, people. These kids are literally in cages.
He would totally. I mean, like, yeah. I don't even understand why they fucking just don't fucking give him his own goddamn the Alex Jones show on fucking
Dude,
CBS.
you know he could be the expose guy.
Like, because who gives a shit? Like, you're kidding yourself if you think it's not going to be out there just because you fucking pushed him off of YouTube or something. Like. I mean, I've seen the deplatforming things work on some smaller guys, but like it has not done shit to slow Alex Jones's role. They fucking pretty much fucking ran him off of everywhere they possibly fucking could. They're suing his ass into oblivion, and I still hear the motherfucker's name constantly. And he's still got legions of devotees. So I don't know. Just slap him on CBS. Fucking give him his own CBS show.
It just lets him have the narrative like, you see a shit's like ban TV, like they're banning me.
Here's the fucking reality show I propose for Alex Jones. Get him out of that studio. Send Alex Jones on a fact-finding mission into the world. Alex Jones delves into the fucking truths. We get to see every step of his investigation as it happens, as he probes deeper and deeper into the truth.
Do the elite bakers have control of the Aztec gold? Find out now with Alex Jones.
Yeah. Like the country would not be any more shitty or irrational than it already is.
Fucking Alex Jones.
So you might as well have some fun with the fucking shit.
Talking to some investment bankers. Do you in fact control the Aztec gold? Alex,
Aztec gold.
We don't have that, Alex. No. We don't have any cursed gold, Alex. Talking nonsense again. But don't go into that room.
Leave our Aztec gold alone. Alex, we will give you a portion of the Aztec gold if you stop telling the truth.
And all because he fucking like hid in the woods in fucking Northern California. Is like, let's go to the Bilderberg. Oh, they burned it. The effigy of care.
Here's some rich people doing some weird shit. Look at them.
They're weird. Would you do this? I mean, if you were a rich fucking elitist billionaire, probably, but you're not, so it's weird.
Dude, I could easily go fucking film like a redneck get together and fucking show you some weird shit that happens. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
it's like people in gatherings do weird shit as like,
especially if there's alcohol and drugs involved. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like if you fucking like look at like a concert footage from the 1960s or something, like if that was just shown to you and you had no familiarity with it and you were like, these people are, you know, part of a baby eating cult, and here is them going into a state of madness,
well, dude, yeah.
watching this man play this guitar. You
know, it's all about you frame it, of course. If you tell people like, we can shoot footage of a party and be like, this is like a very insular cult. These people, you know, are cut off from all contact. They show one person speaking, like, to say whatever, like, you know, we bless this food, like, see, they're all controlled by this one, you know, it's like, you can fucking edit it and frame it however you want.
I don't really mind Alex Jones vilifying fucking billionaires and shit. I just wish he would do it from there's this perspective of like, they're fucking reptilians and they're this and they're that, and they're part of this build up secret NWO and the bot. It's like everything they do is right in the open. They don't need to hide shit from you. They control the laws of the fucking country. They can do whatever the fuck they want. Like anything they want to do, they just make it legal. They got like the Palpatine approach to this shit. They don't need to fucking do anything cloak and fucking dagger hidden in the shadows.
I mean, even when they break the law, nothing happens to them anyways.
Right. Even if you find out like, oh, they were doing some fucking shit.
Hey, they swindled all these people. Oh, real sorry about that. Ready to pay our fine.
Who was the guy that fucking actually goes away? It's Bernie Madoff, the one who fucking stole from too many rich people. If he just exploited a bunch of fucking poor saps, they wouldn't have given a shit.
Yeah, dude, if you want to fucking go to prison, exploit the rich. You exploit the poor people, it's like, he fleeced the congregation. He had 3 private jets, blah, blah, blah. It's like, he gets 3 years in federal prison.
Yeah, right.
You know, like,
he probably wouldn't get that. A lot of times all they get is like some negative press stories, and then their congregation, their stupid flock still believes them anyway. Because it's like, remember that guy? He got fucking caught. Was it Peter Popoff or whatever?
Yeah.
The one that
literally
fucking
got caught with because he had people fill out prayer cards and put their name and addresses and shit.
Right.
And then his wife would go through them while he was on stage and feed him like people's names and shit through the earpiece. And he literally like fucking James Randi did it. James Randi went to one of his revival ministries with a radio receiver and a recorder, and was able to fucking record the private radio transmission from Peter Popoff's wife directly to him, feeding him names and ailments and all the shit that was supposedly miraculous that he knew.
Well, you know what? Taylor told me a story when she was...
and his congregation is still, I mean, like, even seeing that he was 100% definitively fleecing them.
Oh, they didn't care.
They did not give a fuck. He didn't lose shit. He didn't lose a step.
Well, I was going to say, though, TJ, was that Taylor literally went to a church. And basically, this woman became like the pastor at the church or whatever. They're like, oh, okay, well, everyone needs to give all this money and tithe all this money because we're going to build a new and better church. A year or two goes by, nothing's happening. So then the elders of the church look into it and find out she's been misappropriating the funds. So I'm like, oh, so they called the police, right? I was like, nope. She was just no longer the pastor there. So, I mean, dude, that like even when they fleece these people, they report to care about. It doesn't even matter. It's like, yeah, your parents got scammed. It's like, yep. Oh, well, you know, they got us. She's, you know, her judgment's going to be God's going to judge her really harsh. Oh, I'm sure that's what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, to the fuck yeah.
I mean, these guys, I don't know. It's just, I feel like you can't stop people from believing whatever they want to believe.
No, there's a sucker born every minute, man. And I was talking about this the other day. I don't want to get too deep into it because I know we're I was talking about like this idea that people, it seems nowadays more than ever, need a daddy. And I don't mean like an actual daddy. I mean like a philosophical or political or life guru type of daddy to tell them how they should feel about, Tell me how to feel about this issue. Tell me what my take is on this issue. It's like we've failed a couple of generations of people at even instilling the notion of critical thinking. And so they're out there looking for big, boisterous personalities to tell them how to feel about shit. There's nothing wrong with listening to other perspectives and, you know, making your perspective based around those. But I feel like that it has been taken to a degree where a lot of people don't even have their own opinions about shit anymore. Which kind of ties into the shit that we were just talking about.
They're just waiting to be fed. Yeah, give me the. Oh,
that's
yeah.
Interesting. I don't really know my opinion is.
Oh, there's my take. Oh, yeah. I'm running with that. I'm running with that take. Defend. Okay, so my mission is to get from here to here by defending this take from all fucking challenges.
Dude, okay, I've got it. We develop a fucking proprietary personality test, and then we send people their takes.
Oh yeah.
Like, okay, what's your friend group? Okay, what do they look like? All right. You mainly have this friend group. Okay, this is how you feel about this issue.
Yeah.
How do I feel about this issue?
This is actually $1 billion idea that you're having right now, Scotty.
Yourtakes.com.
Yep.
Like, I want to have the wrong take. Don't know. Like, people are talking about, like, that shooting was tragic. Run these people through this database.
Got to run it through my take machine.
I'm conflicted about this issue currently. I would like to see more evidence one way or the other. What? All I'm saying is, it's like, dude, we can fucking make it, guys.
We could. Dude, this is $1 billion idea.
Yourtakes.com.
In fact, I
guaranteed to be the most popular takes in your peer group.
I think we should quit the show right now and devote all our time to developing my takes.
Yeah. I think you might be right. So is that a grease trap, I guess?
That's a grease trap.
I'd say so.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys later.